Hi, everyone. It's a little after 10 o'clock on Thursday night. I just finished watching the documentary on Vietnam on PBS. It's an 8-part, 2-hour a night documentary. It's long. It's 16 hours, but let me tell you, it's well worth it, and it just goes to show if you put a little time into something, you can spend some quality time learning. I remember the Vietnam War from when I was a little kid, and that war was always one of the top stories on the news every night. But there was so much to it that I certainly have never known, and so I spent good time over the last several weeks watching this documentary. So once again, just take the time to learn something, especially when you have all this extra time this next week and a half. Just to give you an update on what's going on in my world right now, I actually left the house today. As you can hear, I'm sounding a lot better. I am feeling a lot better. I went down to see my mom today, had lunch with her, and took her grocery shopping. It was a good day for all of us. That was a real highlight of this first couple weeks off, because most of this time, starting basically last Wednesday morning until today, I have not felt 100% at all, and so it's been a struggle, although it's gotten better. I got a call this morning about 8:30, and it came from my doctor's office in Monmouth, and I thought, well, maybe they're just checking up on me because I had called there on Monday. Actually had to bypass talking to my doctor. He wasn't in. They had a physician's assistant contact me a little bit later. That guy prescribed me an antibiotic for my lungs and some drops for my eyes, and I am so much better right now than I had been in more than a week. And finally today, I basically haven't had to take a nap or anything. So, I mean, I feel just 100% better than I did just 2 days ago. So it was a good outcome. But what the doctor's office was calling me about is that I actually am scheduled for an appointment next week, next Thursday, and it's an annual physical type checkup that I've had for the past almost 8 years, since I had a stroke in 2012, and I'm not going to get to see my doctor. He's in Monmouth and he's at the office, but they don't want anyone coming in other than those who apparently are really sick. And so, here my yearly checkup is going to be done by telephone. It's going to not include checking my heart, checking my lungs, checking my blood pressure, any of that. And it really speaks to how different everything is going to be for at least who knows how many weeks. To have a doctor basically just asking me questions and me giving answers to determine what kind of health I'm in. So I'm hoping that it'll all work out. I'm a little bit skeptical, but it is what it is in the age that we're living in and the particular problems that we're experiencing. Speaking of those, I still don't know a lot about what's going on. Some decisions have to be made by people way above us, at our school. And those decisions were supposed to have come down on Tuesday, and they didn't. And Wednesday came and went, and the decisions weren't made. And now Thursday night, here it is. We have no idea about what's going to happen for us starting next week, other than the fact that we are out of school. So stay tuned. As I understand it, we're going to try some remote learning. It's going to be very touch and go for me because I don't know a lot about the technology being used in this type of process. And frankly, I think it's going to be a little hard to teach something like, I don't know, punctuation remotely when you guys don't have textbooks and something like that. So I'll do my best to keep finding out about it, and I'll do whatever I have to do to try to keep you guys up to date on what's going on academically. It's one thing to get on here a couple times a week and, you know, joke around or whatever about what I'm doing. But I do think it is important that you know that, hey, I'm still functioning. We're still here, and we're still going to try to be student-teacher relationship, even though we don't have anything going on right now. So I'm going to keep that up, and we'll just see how that goes over the next week, and maybe a little more than a week, we'll finally get back together. So we'll just kind of have to play it by ear until then and see what comes out of it. But health-wise, I'm doing so much better, and I do appreciate you guys who have texted me and emailed me about how I'm doing, because obviously I wasn't really good for quite a few days, and even though I knew it wasn't that serious, it's still frustrating to have the kind of cold that I had and the way I felt and all of that going on. So I am doing a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm up and moving a lot better, and I'm going to actually try to get some work done here at home over the next couple of weeks. So as I've stressed, keep busy. I know it may be tough, and you're tempted to want to go out and run around and be in groups and everything like that. But believe me, I do pay attention to what's going on, and it's not a good situation in a lot of spots because people have not heeded the advice that other people have given you, local people, the governor, the president, whoever. It doesn't matter. They're basically saying, shelter up. And people who aren't are starting to pay for it. I just recently read, it was either Wednesday or Tuesday of this week, that a lot of those people who were down in Florida on the beaches during this period of time when they were told to stay off the beach, although their governor never closed them until later, are now starting to come down with coronavirus. And at the time, they're college kids, they're upper high school kids, and they're basically saying, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to have my fun. Well, now they're probably worrying about it. Okay? So remember that. Keep that in mind, that there's a lot more to what's going to go on in life than what we're going to do here the next day, 2 days, 3 days, or the past day, 2 days, 3 days. We got a lot more to look forward to, and we've still got some weeks to go till we get on to next year. All right? So, stay healthy. Okay? That's the most important part. Stay healthy. And one other thing I was thinking about today, and when I was with Mom, she was telling me about this. She volunteers at a food pantry on Fridays, and she has been asked not to come for the next few weeks. The food pantry is run by their church, and basically they've told her and her sister, who's a couple years younger than Mom, and some other people, they're in their 80s, and they've asked them not to come to the food pantry because of their age and their health. Mom has gotten over cancer within the last couple of years, so they've asked them not to come in and help. But it reminded me that, Linda and I, through our church, participate in stocking a food pantry. And we do take food in every week to our church, and then the church transports the food into the fish food pantry in Galesburg. And, while you're at it, if you're able, get yourself involved in something like that. We have our collections of food at the school like once a year. Well, the need is ongoing. And in this day and age of layoffs and shutdowns and cutbacks because of the coronavirus, there's probably greater need now than there has been before. So maybe find a few small cans, small boxes of non-perishable food, and think about donating them at this time. I will talk to you in a few more days. I'm about ready to start coughing, so I'll see you later.